Ooh, time to get that paper, man. Yeah, what up, gang? What up, squad? It's your boy, Theories, the realest, the coolest, the trillest young king on YouTube platform as we speak. Welcome back to another that banger, gang. We got fantastic hip hop in the building. Y'all know how he do, man. He keeps us up to date with all the hip hop drama and everything like that. But we got how Kendrick Lamar just destroyed Drake. I don't know if y'all ever heard the Kendrick Lamar diss, but it was hard, and I don't think Drake can respond unless he got like a million ghostwriters. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go ahead and hear what this new one my dog got to say. He's very in the know with this type of stuff. So, you know, we're gonna see what's popping. If you're new, subscribe, like the video, comment some more bangers. Let's go ahead and hear it. Bye.
After over 2 weeks of waiting, Kendrick Lamar has finally done what we have all been waiting to see as he dropped his Drake diss track Euphoria, and with this song having some of the craziest expectations for a diss track ever. Despite what seemed like an impossible amount of hype to live up to, Kendrick released a 6-minute cut that isn't just one of the craziest diss tracks in recent memory, but really ever. So when it comes to Euphoria, after 2 diss tracks and non-stop trolling from Drake where he was taunting Kendrick saying that he was scared to respond and had absolutely nothing to say back to him, I think it's safe to say that that was clearly a sheer and utter lie. Because with this record, Kendrick didn't just have something to say to Drake, but he had multiple beat switches worth of material to dig in on him with, and where before this, all Kendrick and Drake were doing was jabbing each other harder than they ever have. Here, Kendrick really did some damage that is definitely gonna leave a stain on Drake for a very long time. Now, before we can even dive into what Kendrick actually did on this track, to understand the weight of this performance, I think we need to look at how Drake fueled Kendrick to not just diss him, but to really come at him in a way that we have never seen from Kendrick as a whole. Now, Drake's push-ups diss was definitely a strong move on his end, and while Kendrick had a lot to say about everything he did there, Drake's second and way more controversial diss track, Tailor-Made Freestyle, seemed to light an even bigger fire under Kendrick as he went from not just fighting his biggest rival on his own behalf, but as he clearly lines out, for the sake of the entire region he's from in the West Coast. Looking at Drake's now deleted second diss, using fake versions.
Damn, they deleted push-ups? No, it wasn't push-ups. The one with the Tupac on it? Why did they delete that one?
Of Tupac and Snoop Dogg was truly a horrible decision, as Kendrick raps here with the entire lineage of the West on his back, and because of this, we see Kendrick come at Drake charged up in a way that few other rappers have ever been in beef. From the very start of this song, Kendrick makes it clear that he doesn't just want to win this feud, but that he wants to destroy Drake once and for all, as he truly despises him. And while if some rappers said this, there's a chance it could come off as corny or maybe like they're doing a little too much. Between the one-of-a-kind demeanor and aura that possesses Kendrick throughout the track, to the way he expresses his disdain for Drake, this all doesn't just make the moment stronger, but it allows Kendrick's disses to hit with more weight than anything else that the genre has seen in ages. So when it comes to the actual punches that Kendrick throws at Drake, from start to finish, he doesn't let up for 6 minutes straight, as with almost each bar he spits, he throws more and more dirt on Drake and just finds more ways to humiliate him. From talking about how Drake is lost in his career, to making fun of his tough guy personality, to pretty much calling him a vulture, Kendrick sets the stage for this entire track by acknowledging that Drake may be as successful as ever commercially, but overall, when you look beyond all the numbers, he is a lost man. And from here, each dig Kendrick takes just gets way more insane, as he doesn't just flip everything Drake dissed him about on his head, but he reveals to us some insane stuff that only—
Man, he got grimy with Drake. He got downright grimy.
Makes the OVO rapper look even worse. Where for the past few weeks, everyone has been running around saying that Drake is the victim in this situation and that the entire industry has teamed up to destroy him. Kendrick destroys this narrative once and for all by flipping the line from push-ups about this beef being a 20v1 by saying, ain't 20v1, it's 1v20 if I gotta smack people that right with you. And with this, it's really the most insane way you could have thrown this bar right back at Drake. And beyond this, Kendrick continues to go in as he brings up how pathetic it was for Drake to use fake versions of Pac and Snoop in this beef by not just defending Pac's legacy and sticking up for his honor, but by also belittling Drake again with the line, am I battling Ghost or AI, which is again another super effective way to just clown Drake's whole plan in this feud and call him out for the questionable way he made that second diss track as a whole. Now, other than moments like these that show that Kendrick Lamar studied Drake's responses and found ways to shut all of his attacks down, Kendrick revealed some truly mind-boggling things about Drake, such as that he sent a cease and desist letter for Like That, which is just absurd for Drake to do, and only adds further validity to why Rick Ross dissed him as well, as it shows that trying to shut down people's music with the power of the law is a recurring pattern for him, and when you think Drake couldn't look any worse. Kendrick reveals that Drake reached out to him for a feature, and while there is no time indicated on when this was and what the song was itself, with rumors earlier this year floating around that Kendrick may have been asked to be on First Person Shooter with J. Cole and Drake, and that when he declined, instead of fully embracing Kendrick's greatness, they threw some small subliminals his way to exclude him from the top 2 of the big 3. This only confirms that theory, and on Drake's end, to attempt to belittle somebody who you were trying to get on your album not just a year ago, it only makes him look even worse. Now, going beyond digging up dirt and attacking Drake as both an artist and a brand, Kendrick doesn't stop here, as he comes at him personally as well, and after Drake brought up Kendrick's wife on Push Up,
he brought up the nigga's son, talking about he don't take care of him. Oh man.
It's only fair game that Kendrick attacks him in this lane, and after Drake tried to push the narrative that Kendrick was scared and was hunting for things to diss him about for the past few weeks, Kendrick was able to get 2 birds with 1 stone, as he settled the score about all of this narrative by not just dissing Drake, but embarrassing him, as he says, "Y'all think all my life is rap. I got a son to raise, but I can see you know nothing about that," which I don't even need to explain why that's crazy, but for Kendrick to say all of this,
he put Pusha T on there.
it shows that he is fed up with Drake in a way that we have never seen before, and with everything that Drake has done since this feud has blown up in full force. With the energy Kendrick brings, it seems like everything that Drake has done has only made him more livid, and one of the reasons that has contributed to this diss song being as lethal as it could be is the fact that Drake just may be straight up lying about some of the things he dissed Kendrick about, such as the whole thing Drake said about his record deal being horrible, because Kendrick claps back at this, not just defending himself, but also his entire Top Dog Entertainment family, as he doesn't just shut down the claims that Drake made, but goes on to say that he has no right to talk about any sort of record deal, because between Drake signing to Lil Wayne, who was signed to Birdman, who was known for being one of the shady—
Yo, he said to the nigga you signed to, that nigga he signed to, the motherfucker he was signed to, I was like, God damn.
businessmen in all of hip-hop. Because
imagine how much, like, bro, the money starts up here, then it trickles down. So you getting like the last crumb.
The situation he was in, he has no ground to stand on when it comes to talking about anybody else's splits. Now, as Drake and J. Cole both said that Kendrick's last album, Mr. Morale, was a flop, this was another thing that Kendrick talked about, as in the first few lines of the diss. He doesn't just say that the own vulnerability that he showed about his life made somebody like Drake feel like he can try to come at him personally. But later on the song, he defends the body of work by saying, "Yeah, my first one like my last one, it's a classic, you don't have it." And again, the way Kendrick is able to not just defend his own image on this track, but tear down Drake's and also Cole's, as this is a direct play on what Cole said on 7 Minute Drill, is truly diabolical, and it shows that while many people have commented on Kendrick and his credibility in beefs over the past few months, in all honesty, when you look at the way he's able to pick apart everything his competition did and throw it right back in their face, I think we're lucky in a way that we haven't seen him come at more rappers like this, because 99% of the artists simply wouldn't be able to survive this type of attack. And with Drake, who even knows how he will be able to handle this, because unless he has something crazy up his sleeve, he won't just end up losing this beef, but he could end up humiliating himself in a way that forever destroys his
getting shattered
image, and he'll never be able to recover from. I'd go as far to say that this is one of the craziest diss tracks in hip-hop history, because Kendrick Lamar is not just coming at Drake, but he is delivering some of the most vile and clever lines that have ever been written about another rapper ever. From Kendrick expressing his own disdain, to defending Tupac after he got disrespected to the point where his family sued Drake, to fighting for the entire West Coast, and beyond this, even as Kendrick says himself, from what he says is not just his own point of view, but is really how the entire culture feels. This is such a powerful moment, because beyond the beef, this feels like a warning that is projected through Kendrick from the entirety of hip-hop culture, as it calls him out on all the foolish antics he has been running around with for almost a decade at this point, that while being commercially successful, overall have hurt the state of artistry in hip-hop and have devalued so much of what the culture once held sacred. When you realize that some of Kendrick's bars on this track are intentionally echoing the exact words that DMX said in an interview years ago about Drake, or that Kendrick dropped the track at 8:24 a.m. on the West Coast as a way of clapping back at Drake's subliminal diss on Scary Hours 3, where he said that Kendrick is not Kobe Bryant to hip-hop, the more you dive into this track and look at all of its details.
That's crazy. He dropped it at 8:24 because Kobe wore 8 and 24.
It feels weird to say, but I don't think that there's ever been a diss that is this poetic, as Kendrick effectively attacked Drake as a rapper, brand, and a man. I really don't know what Drake can even do to get another point on the board in this feud, so with all that said, I think it's safe to say that Kendrick Lamar has just made a power play in rap like few ever had, and at this point, depending on how this track dictates Drake's next move, it won't just give Kendrick the clear-cut win, but it will damage Drake's image forever. So let me know, what do you think about Euphoria? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and as there was so much to dissect on this track, let me know what your favorite part was and if there are any other key moments that I missed. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see how many classic albums Kendrick Lamar has over Drake, check out the suggested video.
Man, the whole song as a whole was hard. He literally touched on everything, no Diddy, that should have been spoke on. And I mean, like I said, bro, I just don't see how Drake can come back from this. And Drake is going for, damn, she a little fatty. She waved at my baby. Drake, I don't know what the fuck that nigga gonna do, bro. We'll just have to wait and see. But if you're new, subscribe, like the video, man. Comment some more bangers y'all want me to react to. Till next time, me and Paul is out. We go.